Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining us. We're going to be diving into an absolutely crucial yet somehow rarely discussed pillar of women's health. Speaking to you today from our experience at Pratimoksha, Dubai's premier yoga studio, we really want to share some profound insights into how your body actually functions. We see so many incredible, driven women come into our studio feeling just disconnected from their bodies, carrying tension they can't quite put their finger on. So today we're going to shine a light on the deep, unbreakable connection between your pelvic floor, your core, and your posture. All right, let's just dive right into it. Think about this for a second. Nearly 1 in 3 women will experience some form of pelvic floor dysfunction during her lifetime. 1 in 3. And what's truly heartbreaking about that number is that the vast majority of these women go completely undiagnosed for years. We see this literally all the time in our practice. These are professional women in Dubai, navigating incredibly demanding careers and busy lives, and they're just suffering in silence. They mistakenly blame their discomfort on stress, or they think, well, I'm just getting older, or they write it off as the cost of a fast-paced modern lifestyle. But as we constantly teach at Pratimoksha, this is absolutely not something you just have to live with. Section 1. The silent women's health issue. We need to dismantle a very pervasive cultural myth right out of the gate here. What we hear from our clients every single day perfectly captures these symptoms that are just disguised as background noise. So many women think pelvic floor health is only something you worry about during pregnancy or postpartum, and that is just simply inaccurate. It is a lifelong foundation of your physical well-being. We're talking about symptoms like unresolved lower back pain, or maybe a subtle sense of heaviness or pressure in the pelvis, postural fatigue by the end of the workday, even reduced core stability despite working out all the time. At Pratimoksha, we want to empathetically remind you that these physical signals should never be accepted as just the cost of doing business in Dubai. Your body is trying to tell you something. Section 2. 3 systems, 1 unified core. Let's look at how we actually view the body's structure. To truly heal, we have to understand what we're actually dealing with. Your pelvic floor is this vital group of muscles sitting right at the base of your pelvis. It supports your bladder, bowel, and uterus. But here is where it gets really fascinating. It doesn't work alone, not at all. It works in constant, seamless coordination with your deep abdominal muscles and your diaphragm to maintain intra-abdominal pressure. This internal stability is what keeps your spine supported and your body moving efficiently. So the big takeaway here is that your pelvic floor, your deep core, and your postural alignment, they aren't 3 separate issues. They are 3 expressions of the exact same underlying system. Section 3. The desk posture problem. Which brings us to the root cause for so many of the professionals we see. There is a massive hidden danger in the modern workspace. We see a direct clinical relationship between chronic postural strain, the exact kind of strain you get from long hours glued to your desk, and pelvic floor weakness. It's true. The way you hold your body while staring at your screen has severe physical consequences way down below your waistline. It's a connection most people simply aren't talking about, but it is fundamentally changing how women feel in their own bodies. This all builds into a very specific anatomical cascade. It's basically a domino effect that happens during those long office hours. Step 1. Your posture naturally collapses under the weight of staring at that screen all day. Step 2. Because your posture is collapsed, your diaphragm can no longer move freely to take deep, full breaths. Step 3. Deprived of those healthy breath mechanics, your deep core muscles just completely disengage. And finally, step 4, your pelvic floor, which is now totally deprived of its natural support network from above, has to start compensating. And over time, that compensation turns into strain, and that strain turns into dysfunction. Section 4, moving beyond superficial fitness. Okay, so how do we actually fix it? We need a holistic approach. When women notice this core instability or start feeling that back pain, they usually head straight to a conventional gym. But conventional fitness typically focuses on the superficial abdominal muscles. We're talking crunches, planks, and isolated training. And while those muscles definitely matter, training them in isolation, especially when you already have chronic postural strain, can actually increase the downward pressure on a pelvic floor that is already crying out for help. Contrast that with our Pratimoksha yoga therapy approach. We focus entirely on restoring the natural coordination between the diaphragm, the deep abdominal wall, and the pelvic floor. It's an integrated system approach that safely restores your deep internal support network without doing any further harm. At our studio, we use incredibly precise, deliberate techniques to achieve this. We utilize specific asanas to release tight hip flexors and the iliopsoas. Because when you sit all day, those muscles get chronically tight, pulling your pelvis completely out of alignment and putting a constant, low-grade strain right on your pelvic floor. We also use pranayama, which are breathing techniques, to restore that essential diaphragmatic movement, which directly impacts your pelvic floor tone. And finally, we incorporate deep awareness practices. We want to help you reconnect with a part of your body that modern life has, quite frankly, forced you to ignore. Section 5. The Pratimoksha Healing Philosophy. This right here is the heart of everything we do. Our founder at Pratimoksha, Lalitha Viswanath, is always emphasizing this one guiding principle in her teaching. She says structural problems are rarely local. Address the system, not the symptom. And it's so true. A tight lower back is rarely just about the lower back. A weak core is rarely just about your abs. True therapeutic healing lies in our capacity to zoom out and look at the entire integrated system of your body, rather than just slapping a Band-Aid on whichever symptom is screaming the loudest. Building on Lalitha's teaching, we really need to reframe how we think about posture. It's not just an aesthetic concern. It's not about sitting up straight so you look confident in a meeting. It is a highly functional therapeutic matter. If your pelvis is tilted, whether it's tipping forward or backward, the entire structural chain above and below it is compromised. Your lumbar spine curves too much, your hip joints take on uneven loads, and your pelvic floor muscles end up stuck in a constant state of being either overly stretched or overly shortened. Correcting your posture is what actually removes this chronic, debilitating strain from your life. Section 6. Starting your wellness journey. All right, it's time to translate all this understanding into action. If you've been nodding along to this explainer today, your next step is really important. At Pratimoksha, true healing happens through our individual program. Look, this isn't some generic group fitness class where you get lost in the back row. It is a fully personalized approach that kicks off with a really thorough initial assessment of your specific body. We tailor the practice precisely to your unique postural patterns and your personal history. It's a structured, therapeutic relationship, and it is specifically designed to produce real, lasting change in your body and your daily life. So I want to leave you with this somewhat provocative thought. Are you ready to actually address the system instead of just surviving the symptoms? If you're a woman in Dubai who recognizes literally any of what we've described today, the back pain, the mid-afternoon desk fatigue, that feeling of core disconnection, we warmly invite you to book a trial session at our Oud Mitha studio. Just come as you are. The work starts exactly where you are today. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer, and we really look forward to welcoming you into the studio to begin your transformative wellness journey.